Hello again, everyone. My name is Amanda Davis. My children and I are descendants of the Western Tamok Shoshone Bannock tribe with the Elko and South Fork bands. Here's a picture of me and my 10-year-old son, my daughter Antoinette with our dog Rayla, and me trying to be worthy. I was not. So my beginnings, I was raised by a strong single mother. I played basketball and volleyball for a large part of my life. I also did track. I started really going downhill in middle school. I got in-school suspension and my teacher came in and she told me, I always knew that you'd end up here. This is where you belong. You're never going to do anything with your life. And that really started my hatred for school. This was in about 7th grade. So with that in mind, high school was kind of my crash and burn era. We moved back to Springfield and I hated school. I hated high school. I hated everything. But I also skipped school a lot because teachers didn't understand that I had to take my little sister to school every day, and I was late to first period because of it. Our schools started at the same time. There's a 10-year gap between me and my sister that you can see here, so I had to be able to take her to school. I also had to pick up a job with bills. I worked at Papa Murphy's for about 10 years on and off. Miss Clark was really the teacher who saved me, and that is this wonderful, beautiful person right here. She pretty much told me that I could do anything and everything I wanted. I just had to get through high school, and then the world was essentially open to me. She was also extremely inclusive of my Native side. Not a lot of teachers knew that I was Native, but Miss Clark took the time to really foster that and help me create a cohesive world rather than a really separate one from the colony and from Springfield. Like I said, I crashed and burned in high school. I graduated with a 1.6 GPA. So that's about a D plus, C minus average. I hated school. I never wanted to go back. I was done. So I took a year off after high school to party it up and see if I could get the position I wanted at Papa Murphy's. I essentially signed up for classes at Lane Community College for the money. I was just really needed it, and I was like, well, I might as well go for something. And I've always loved archaeology. So I took some archaeology and anthropology classes and ended up falling in love with college. My son, I found out I was pregnant with 2 weeks after I had signed up for Lane Community College. He was born after my first year in March 6, 2011. I was unhappy in my relationship, so I went to visit some strong females on my dad's side. This is my Gagu, which is grandma in Shoshone, my auntie, me, and my son. I was really just unhappy with life. And my Gagu asked me, what's your plan? What do you want to do? And I was like, I want to be an archaeologist. And she just kind of, So I went back and I continued at LCC. I heard from a couple of kids how my Shoshone tribe had been wiped out and too bad we couldn't take on the Romans. And at that time, I didn't know what micro or macro aggressions were, so I just kind of let it simmer. But that really was the beginning point of my passion for teaching, was that I didn't want anybody to step onto a college campus not understanding tribal history and sovereignty. I found the Longhouse really by accident. I took a class called Native Storytelling by James Florendo, who has essentially become a part of my family. He's like an uncle to me and my kids. I really wouldn't be here without James. I became a single mother during this time. My mom said that I was working too hard. I had 2 part-time jobs and I was going to school full-time. I just really couldn't juggle it. And she told me, maybe it's best if you drop out of college and get a better job that pays more. I was talking to James about it and he just told me no. I was like, this isn't a discussion. He's like, you're not dropping out. And he got me involved in BOGSA, Bridge of the Gods Summer Academy, where Native youth from the res in the colony or within the city come onto college campuses at Lane and U of O, attend college courses and earn college credit. It's a 2-week it was a 2-week program. And that's really when I decided I wanted to be a teacher, was working with Native youth and hearing their experiences and just sharing this time with them. That's when I knew maybe I did want to return to high school, as horrible as it sounds. So I graduated with honors from LCC with my Associate of Arts of Transfer degree, and I was the first on my dad's side of the family to have a college degree. At the university, I had a large community, thank heavens, because I would never have been able to get through it without Gordon Bettles and his family, the Native American Student Union, Jimmy Snyder, Leilani Sabzalian, James Florendo, Lonnie Teves, really ethnic studies in general. The beautiful cohort that was created with this small group of people was just one of the best things I've ever experienced. I kind of stumbled onto ethnic studies by accident, talking to James and Leilani and telling them my passions. They were like, yeah, you should definitely do ethnic studies. And I'm really glad that I did. This is also the time where I got pregnant with my daughter, Antoinette. So I finished my bachelor's thesis while I was in the hospital giving birth to my daughter. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do school. I just want to take some time off. I received my bachelor's of science degree with departmental honors 6 days later. I was the first in both sides of my family to receive a bachelor's degree. My daughter was born June 6, 2016. Yes, that's 6/6/16. So after that, I kind of took a year off of BAGSA and was really trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I was battling postpartum, and so it was really difficult for me to care about myself, let alone my future. This is really when the mind shift changed for me, doing the work to follow and expand the path those who came before me laid out. It wasn't really that apparent to me until I actually joined Sapsik'gsmåłá. Sapsik'gsmåłá became my stability because of the huge community that I had at the University of Oregon from LCC and now with the GYO Teach program and Sapsik'gsmåłá in particular. I was really battling imposter syndrome. It is extremely real and it's super hard. I really thought that I was going to walk down and get my degree and they're just like, haha, just kidding. We wouldn't give you a degree. So it's real. I, at this time, was a domestic violence survivor. I'd finally left my abuser, and I did it because I had this huge community. The 3 people who were in the SAPSI program during my year were me, Heather, and Sage. This is also a picture of my group from LCC. We kind of went through LCC and the U of O together, and that's another picture of James. And of course, my NASU crew really couldn't have done it without the huge community I had. We were also trivia champs. This is a bunch of us from the U of O Teach program, trivia champs 3-4 weeks in a row. I really got to find who I was, what I was passionate about and for, and the ability to be a good teacher. I have just a couple of pictures. Oh, I was also the first person in my family to receive a master's degree. These are me and my kids. This is a picture of a beautiful elder to Humshish. And then me graduating, of course. Right after college, I got a job at Canby High School. My first application, though, they were like, this isn't your position. Come back for another one. I returned and was pretty much hired on the spot for the ELD position. I was now at Canby Cougar. I made a lot of friends, especially with my students. Some of them, as soon as they graduate, they're adding me on Facebook. They're like, Miss Davis, I graduated. They can only add me if they've graduated. But Alex Fricciones from Argentina, he was an amazing person and a partner. I got to work with him. He was the other ELL teacher, so it was just us 2. Isabu is a Kanaka Maoli, so her and I were the only 2 Native women on campus. And this is the beautiful Carent. Like I said, I made a bunch of beautiful friends and families there, but I was needed at home, so I had to come back. So I just wanted to show you some of the joyous pictures of me at Canby. It was an amazing family. We would watch Game of Thrones during lunch and eat together in the tech department, which is in the library. It was a really fun time. I'm still really close with a lot of these people, with all of them actually. Mr. Jex is actually the person who gave me the materials that I needed in order to apply at Willamette High School. What's a wolverine? You're probably thinking this handsome man. No, it's actually this really scary creature with big teeth. But I mean, it looks a lot cuter here. It's still got huge claws. I would not mess with a wolverine. So I came back. I got hired at Willamette High School as a social studies teacher. This is my second year as a wolverine. Nate Jackson and I were hired at the same time. We essentially are the diversity in the history department, so we really gravitated towards each other. Nate's kind of my person at school. He understands the kind of perspectives that we have, being the only 2 people of color. I'm also the Native American Student Union Teacher Coordinator. There was a hiatus of about 4 or 5 years where NASU shut down before I came, so I was super excited to get that back up and running. I'm also on a panel that's creating SB 13 professional development curriculum for teachers. I'm also a part of the equity committee for Bethel. I love being a part of the GYO program. And just so you know, this is NASU. I couldn't get it to pop in at the right time. but this is one of the back of our shirts that I'm super excited about. But I, of course, have to give props to my mom. She's always been there. She's always been proud of me, even though she suggested that I should drop out of college. When I graduated, she kind of told me, like, I was really nervous there for a little bit, what you were going to do or what you were doing, but you really rounded it out, and I'm super proud of you. And I really couldn't be here and be on this educational journey and become the teacher that I am without my mom. So I have to give props to my mom. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon.